Welcome to the Retro Video Store Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the Retro Video Store Podcast. I'm your host, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
And that's my co-host, Neil.
I'm Neil. And who finally put out all the fires so they can show back up?
And I'm sometimes Dave.
Welcome, Dave. It's been a while since we've heard or seen from you. Or both.
It has. I was trying to remember the last one. I think I was in line to do RoboCop 2 with y'all and then got called out because I specifically remember wanting you, and hopefully you said it in the podcast, that when I saw the opening credits of Detroit in RoboCop 2, I thought, well, nothing's changed. And but yeah, no, I've missed all out. I've been busy, so glad to be back.
Glad to have you back.
Yep.
What is the state of fires in this side of the United States?
Regionally, or nationally, it's not to the highest level yet, but it's probably trending in that direction here rather soon. So,
wow.
Yep, it's been a busy.
A busy man.
Yep.
You know, what is interesting is, we have a lot of fires in northern Colorado. Central Colorado hasn't been that bad. Neil, how's your week been?
Super busy. Things really geared up at work. Haven't been able to find my ass with both hands.
So,
thanks, Dave. Dave holds up both hands.
I'll fight your ass for you, Neil.
Wow.
Well, I found once you get past 50, it just stops and it kind of starts to get a little concave at some point. So
I'm getting a case of old man butt. I noticed the other day. It's kind of sad.
Dude, I watched this guy that had to be around 400 to 500 years old in the gym. So I'm there early in the morning, like 4:45, 5 o'clock. And this guy is shuffling past. And I mean, God bless him, because he's working out to the best of his ability. But he gets off a machine and he turns sideways. He literally has, it's like no ass. I don't see how he sits on anything.
Yeah. I know we all experience the older men who are more comfortable with their bodies than they should be at the gym.
Nope. I get dressed at the house. I go to the gym. I come back. I shower and I get ready for work. I am not. No, I even try to use the bathroom before. I'm not going through the frickin' locker room. It's a horror show at the times I go. And I skipped this morning because I wanted to sleep in. It was Monday, and I'm like, I'm gonna sleep in a little bit. So when I get done with you guys, I got a friend whose mom just passed away. I'm gonna call him and talk to him for a little bit. Then I'm gonna maybe go to the gym if I've got time, but I'm gonna be heading with my wife at like 4:45, so I got to get in bed early.
Well, today we're talking about Final Destination 3, which is a hell of a lot of fun. And next week, just to let people know, next week we're doing Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Hell yes.
I have not seen that in ages. I do remember his dancing skills in the movie.
It's going to be so good.
I have not seen that in ages. That'll be a lot of fun. And I think we have like one or two more, but then spooky season starts, and then we're going to hit the horror movies really hard for September and October. I'm thinking about doing some newer ones just to kind of do like a variety. Because I realized with this movie, the Final Destination 3, it came out in 2006. That's already 19 years ago. So we can kind of hit some, some sort of newer movies. Not like 80s, 90s anymore. We can do some 2000s just as a change of pace for a little bit. Get some new stuff out there. Yeah. There was a Black Christmas remake that came out in 2006 too.
Neil.
I could give two shits less.
So let's do what we always do before we talk about Final Destination 3. Dave, have you watched anything of note lately?
So I did go watch Eddington. I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about that.
I hear that's very controversial.
Yes.
Ari Aster movie.
But if you're from New Mexico, it makes it even better. So I think You got to watch it because there's shot in Truth or Consequences.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But it was super fun. I really enjoyed it. And that was the last thing I watched until I watched this one. And then the other night I watched the new Jurassic Park.
Oh, really? How was that?
It was all right. That's what you expect. I only watched it to look at Scarlet. So, I mean,
yeah,
the plots don't really
haven't
change much.
seen it yet.
But then I started rewatching Breaking Bad.
Huh?
Comfort show. That's my comfort show. Yep.
Makes you miss New Mexico.
Yeah, makes me miss home.
Right. Riding dirt bikes out in the desert, coming across like a random metal shed that tweakers bought from Montgomery Ward and start firing shotgun shots off at you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Neil, what have you watched?
Well, I did watch a new classic. I watched Happy Gilmore 2.
How was it?
Pretty damn funny. It's an Adam Sandler movie. If you go in expecting an Adam Sandler movie, you are not going to be disappointed.
I hear there's tons of cameos in there.
There's tons of cameos. John Daly is freaking brilliant. I mean, he's only in it for like maybe 2 minutes, but he freaking steals scenes. And then I got hooked on a series on Netflix. It's Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh yeah, I hear that's kind of like a heavy, like almost like heavy metal.
It is. And I went through all the seasons of that. I don't know how many there are, but I watched all of those. So that was pretty good. It was entertaining.
Cool.
And what else was it? And then I started watching another series, Department Q. It's good. It's good. It's very heavy, and it's a little bit depressing. It's not exactly an upbeat kind of flick, but it was good what I saw. I think that's pretty much all I got through this week because I've been so damn busy. Yeah. Hey, it's good to see you back, Dave.
Good to be back.
Good to have you here. Yeah. Anything else going on? All good?
Eric, what have you watched?
I was waiting, being patient. I didn't really watch too many movies. I think I watched my favorite comfort. I'm going to take a nap movie, The Godfather Part 2. I watched most of that the other day. I just love The Godfather Part 2, and I just will lay on the couch, kind of go in and out of in and out of the movie, but I can always just join in. Always love the scenes back in the early scenes with young Robert De Niro as as the Godfather. I do like Michael Corleone and Hyman Roth, just in Cuba and all that kind of stuff. That's such a good movie. Love it. And I've been watching a hell of a lot of true crime lately. I don't know what's gone over me. I've been watching. There's this one on Paramount Plus called, and you can get it through Amazon. But it's called Murder 360, and it's a really good crime series. And it does some of the stuff that it doesn't do some of the stuff that I hate. There's no reenactments. There's no long overbearing shots of drone footage of the area, just a few, and they don't drag it out for 2 hours. It's 45 minutes in and out. They show the crime scene photos. They talk to the people involved. They show the interview with the killer, in the interrogation room, and then it is done. It's like 10 episodes. There's this one that's really actually kind of scary. That's the first true crime thing I've seen in a while. It's scary, where this guy kills these hikers in Georgia. It's like the 7th episode, and it's like the hiking killer or whatever. It's pretty. This guy is just a total animal, dead-eyed monster, and it was pretty freaky. So
what's it called? Let me grab my note.
Murder 360.
Let me write this down.
Yeah, pretty good. David is actually pulling out a notebook and writing it down.
Hey. So that would be M. That's the one with both mountains. You are D. Okay, I'll slow down. Shit, quit waving.
Got it.
Okay.
Murder 360. It's pretty good. I recommend it. There's like 10 episodes.
David, you didn't have to write 63 times. Mm-hmm. It's 360, 360.
Mm-hmm. I was impressed that you took out a notebook and wrote it down. So
I have one that sits here right in the cushion of this recliner where I recovered from shoulder surgery. Just a little where I write shit down when I hear about it.
Is that your bait book? It's all the you write down all the URLs of all the scenes that you like on Pornhub on there.
I was gonna say it's his slam book, but it's kind of the same thing. Just depends what he's slamming.
He's all Siamese twins, midgets.
Holy shit. All right, there we go.
Yes, we're off to a good start. 10 minutes in. We're already making fun of David's habits. But today we're talking about Final Destination 3. In my opinion, the high point of the Final Destination series. And I will say that I've watched Bloodlines recently, and that's really, really good. It's kind of a return to form, but it doesn't quite hit the heights of Final Destination 3. And we'll talk about why I will say in Bloodlines, they try to shoehorn in too much family drama or what's going on. And here, Final Destination 3 is like, it walks the perfect line between stupid and entertaining. And it just balances it just right. And that's why I think it's my favorite of the series. What was your initial opinion on it, Neil?
I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. When you said it was the best one of the series, and I'm like, I think after watching like number 1 and number 2, I'd kind of like, no, I was over it, and I never saw this one. And then I realized I had seen parts of it. So I sat down, and it was a laugh out loud good time for me and the missus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and really, really good.
Enjoyed the hell out of it.
What was my thought? I liked it. I had never actually seen this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So during COVID, they were showing Final Destination 3 a lot on HBO. So I was like, man, this is really, really good. So I wound up buying the whole series on Blu-ray, the first 5 movies.
What?
They came in this multi-pack, the Final Destination, all the series of the movies in one Blu-ray, multi-pack. And so we watched all of them, and one is good, but it's too tame. It sets up the premise, but it's not, it doesn't really hit the heights. 2, we'll talk a little bit more about when we do the ranking of our best favorite scenes and favorite movies, but 3, for some reason, it just hit the sweet spot for me, and I've watched it way more than any of the other Final Destination movies combined. I've had to see this probably like a dozen times at least. You want to hit us with the Internet Movie Database tagline?
Wendy Christensen and a group of teens who escaped a fatal roller coaster crash face a bloody date with death.
Yes. So this was directed by James Wong, who him and Glenn Morgan came up with the original idea for the series because they were both writers on the X-Files, and this started out as an X-Files script, and then they fleshed it out into a movie, and they were the producers and writers of the first one, took a break on number 2, and then came back for number 3, and I feel like this is, directing wise and stuff, it's good. And of course, kill wise, it's really, really good. It was released on February 10th of 2006, with $25 million budget, made $54 million in the United States and 64 internationally. So it was $118 million. It was the best earning of the series for a long time. And then Final Destination Bloodlines made a huge profit and kind of brought the series back. And I feel like it's one of those series that it's good that it's still around. It's good to have it. Good to have it because you know what you're going to get when you watch one of these movies.
Oh my God, we might all live. Look, everything's great. Last 30 seconds of the movie. Fuck you.
Yep. Yeah.
Bloodlines is on HBO Max. I highly encourage to watch it if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty good. It's pretty entertaining. This opened at number 2 at the box office behind When a Stranger Calls remake. I have not seen the When a Stranger Calls remake, which is weird.
Oh my god!
Let me look it up.
They're in the house. It's got the tree in the middle of it with the birds, and it's got the guy with the scars as the bad guy. Is that it? Is that the one?
That fucking narrows it down.
I remember the house.
Was this 2006, right, Eric?
Yeah.
2006. I'm looking at it right now. Oh, yes. I remember. Mm-hmm. During a babysitting gig, a high school student was harassed by an increasingly threatening prank caller.
Well, I always remember the original one with, what's her name? Carol Kane was in it. And, and the first part of the movie is so scary. We're like, why haven't you checked the children? And then she calls the cops and they're like, the calls from coming inside the house. And, the whole thing that scared the shit out of a whole generation of people in the 70s because it captured that urban legend so perfectly.
This one's pretty good. Tommy Flanagan. He was in Sons of Anarchy. He's got scars up both sides of his face. I guess he got cut when he was younger, doing up to some hijinks and stuff. And it ends the movie really well because they show him and he looks intimidating because he's got the weird scars, but they give no explanation, none. Torments her and messes with her, and the house is like state of the art, like really cool. It wasn't too bad. Although the lead actress, I don't know, she always looked sleepy. Even tired. Scared. She looked a little sleepy.
So going back to Final Destination 3, Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays Wendy, the photography club student and the person who has the visions of what happens at premonition and everything like that. She's too good for this movie because she's like been in a lot of other things and she's a good actress and she's given it her all and stuff. And she's acting circles around the rest of the cast. She emotes. Everybody else is just kind of there. You know what I mean? I feel like she's a little too good for the rest of the cast. She has been in a lot of stuff. She's actually married to Ewan McGregor. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is.
Oh, hello there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she's been in. She was in The Ring 2, Sky High, Final Destination 3. She was in the Black Christmas remake. Interesting. She was in Death Proof, Live Free or Die Hard. I remember her especially from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World because she was Ramona Flowers. She's been a lot of movies. She's in the one of the Star Wars shows. Ahsoka is Hera Syndulla. She has the weird
Hera Syndulla.
Yeah,
she's a Twi'lek.
Yeah,
fuck you guys. I like Star Wars.
Yeah, but she's been in a lot of stuff, and I think she's a good actress, and I like the stuff that she's in. She's done a lot of horror movies, and Swiss Army Man, that's a weird one. She's not in that one. Yeah, she's pretty good. The rest of the cast, though, they're there. We got Ryan Merriman as Kevin Fisher, who's Wendy's friend and the ex-boyfriend of her best friend. And everybody else are just kind of, you see them in other horror movies and other things, but they're really not in a lot of other stuff. Not to deride their careers or anything like that, but they're not really. Oh, yeah. Is that Mary Elizabeth there, Neil?
Why, it is.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome very much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, let's
screenshot there.
How do you zoom in?
Are you on a PC or are you on a Mac?
Oh, here we go.
I do like Sam Easton as Frankie Cheeks. He's memorable, interesting guy in this movie. Do you want to hit us with the critical consensus?
All I could think of was like all the dumb shit that Frankie Cheeks said. Let's see your titties.
Yeah, show some sweet titties.
Show some titties.
Yeah.
Because I can count on the number of zero fingers how many times that's probably ever worked for a guy. Yeah. All right. Rotten Tomatoes reports that 44% out of 117 critics gave the film a positive review because the others are assholes with an average rating of 5.1 out of 10. The critic consensus reads Final Destination 3 is more of the same, gory and pointless with nowhere new to go, except through the skull, through the torso, all those places. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 41 out of 100. That's based on 28 critics. That's mixed or average. Several critics described the story as formulaic compared to the previous installments, because apparently they weren't paying attention in those. Roger Ebert wrote that the film's main issue was its predictability and lack of tension. Yes. And that was also the highlight of the damn movie. Was its predictability and lack of tension, because you're like, yes, they're going to get it. How? Let's see it. Because it was clear to everyone who must die and in what order. Duh. Variety compared the narrative negatively with the franchise's second installment, describing the third film as lacking intricacy. The New York Times similarly described the film as lacking the novelty of the first or the panache of the second. TV Guide called the periods between characters' deaths dull, highlighting one reason the film failed to match the formula set out in the previous installments. Other reviewers were more positive. IGN praised the story. Chris Carl wrote that the formula has been perfected rather than worn out by the third film. Chris, makes sense. Empire's Kim Newman and The Guardian found the story enjoyable, but said Final Destination 3 adhered primarily to the structure set out by the rest of the franchise.
Yes, that's why you came to watch it.
That's why you came to watch it.
Yes.
The film's tone and death scenes were positively received by critics. Writing for... I like the way they died. Writing for Real Reviews, James Bernardelli described Final Destination 3 as incorporating more humor compared to its predecessors. Thank you, James. And said it worked to the film's benefit. The Seattle Times agreed the film's humorous tone helped to elevate it and said fans of the franchise would enjoy the death sequences. Let's check. Eric, did you enjoy the death sequences?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. Oh, David, did you enjoy the death sequences? David vigorously has raised his hand. Thank you for having it empty this time. Sarah Dobbs of Den Geek said the tone made Final Destination 3 the high point of the franchise, because Sarah's correct. She commended the film's style as a brightly colored and slightly silly meditation on how we're all going to die one day, so we might as well do it explosively, which is the same reason I eat at Taco Bell. The tanning bed and nail gun scenes were singled out as the best death sequences from the film and the franchise. So let's talk about that for a hot second. As this movie is rolling, the tanning bed scene came on, and I'm sitting there watching it. My wife's not paying attention. She's looking and reading, trivia about it. And she looks up and she's like, Jesus fucking Christ, Eric. She goes, anorexic titties. That's the only reason he wanted to watch this movie. So when the girls catch on fire, they had the worst death of all.
I mean, there's the most painful,
and drawn out, and it got to be a little bit silly at one point because it's barbecued anorexic titties at that point. And I joked with my wife, like, there won't be a lot of fat at least on top of it. They could reuse it and they won't have to scrape that off. And that was when she really got sucked in and started watching it. Yeah, the tanning bed scene. Jesus. Winstead's performance was praised, according to the BBC. The real tragedy is that promising young actress Mary Elizabeth Winstead must endure this torture. Bernardinelli described her as delivering as competent a job as one could expect in these dire circumstances. Felix Gonzalez Jr. of DVD Reviews has praised Winstead and Merriman's performances as one of the few positive aspects of the film. Similarly, the Seattle Times praised Winstead for conveying Wendy's emotions, which is kind of what they paid her for. The Daily Telegraph also listed Wendy as one of the top 20 final girls in horror films and praised Winstead's performance for making Wendy as a believable character and not having barbecued anorexic titties.
So I'm going to go back to the halcyon days of the early 2000s, mid 2000s, where low-rise jeans were the style of the day. Can I get an amen, David? Thank you. Thank you, David. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, going back to the...
I just want to point out that you use the term halcyon days.
Mm-hmm.
Like happy, peaceful, carefree, and low rise.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't even know what that meant. I was just rolling with it. I'm like, I'll Google this later. I'll have to listen to the big words and to Google them later.
Yeah, but it was a day. Those were days to remember. One thing I like about the movie is it's right before the rise of the smartphone. Everybody has their Motorola Razrs and their little other
great phones.
Yeah, the Motorola Razr was an awesome phone, and people still had to carry around cameras old school, like she had the little like Canon Flix Pix or whatever camera, which took shitty pictures. They were the worst. They took terrible pictures, but that was before, that's when you still carried around a camera and a video camera, like Frankie Cheeks was carrying around his video camera as well. No Googling anything or ChatGPTing anything. It was just the back of the days where you weren't distracted all the time by your phone, just like David is right now.
Texting a coworker. Sorry. I'm listening.
Well, now that we've got his attention.
But I did like that she had the Wendy, our heroine, had about a $5,000 Mac Pro computer with extremely
she had that old ass tower, the really big ones, man.
The cheese grater tower that was so awesome. Yeah, those were great computers back in the day.
I had one of those at work when they were coming out. I had one of those things, and I thought it was like really, really cool.
Yeah, they were awesome.
It had the power to do everything I needed it to.
They were expensive as hell.
My Mac is now like about this thin, like that thin, and it's got a huge screen. And then I've got a little Apple, those little miniature computers that Apple makes.
Yeah.
That I plug
Mac
into
Mini.
it. Yeah, my Mac Mini. I can just take that and plug it into a random monitor I've got here, and I'm good to go.
I've got, for me, I got the Dell PC, which I do my gaming and podcast on. I still have my iMac, and then I have a little Lenovo laptop that is now Andrew's for school. So, yeah. Computers.
I have one computer. It's a Pavilion.
The guy in the truck, the guy in the truck said it was really good. It would do everything I needed it to. I didn't need to know where it came from.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the plot a little bit. And this is just setups for amazing death sequences. And of course, in the first movie, it's the plane. In the second movie, it's the highway. And in this movie, it's the roller coaster. And it really sets it up pretty well. Our heroine is taking pictures for the yearbook. And I'm thinking to myself, they're going to graduate in like 2 weeks. They're going to get there. She's a little late to get those pictures in the yearbook.
I didn't see her do drugs once.
What did I say?
You said there was heroin.
Oh, our heroine. Oh, okay.
He's addicted to women that save people.
So we see our cast. We got the African-American jock guy. Her Wendy's boyfriend is this total non-entity kind of guy. I said non-entity. Who used to say that?
Oh, god damn.
You're total non-entity. It was such an insult that this dude we used to know in high school would tell people that weren't memorable or didn't. I can't believe I pulled that from the ether, because that's not something I would say in normal conversation.
Yes, but this person thought very highly of themselves and still thinks very highly of themselves. So much so that they don't really, talk to us.
Yeah. Such a non-entity. Like, you're not memorable enough, or you don't really, like saying somebody's an NPC, a non-player character.
Are you thinking about the halcyon days of high school?
Yes, I am. Because that's when this takes place. So we get, creepy guy, hot chicks, our hero and her best friend and their boyfriends, the gothy couple. And then, that's kind of sets up your victims for the rest of the movie. And I really like, they take their time setting up the roller coaster sequence. I stopped it just to see how long it took for it to be over. It was 20 minutes into the movie when it was over. So that is like nearly a third of the movie dedicated to just setting up the roller coaster premonition. And I like the way everything happened, just the guy getting cut in half and people hanging on and falling and all that kind of stuff. That was done well. This was a nice gory movie.
It was, you know what? It was what I needed. It just fit. It just fit everywhere the way it needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did. This is a fun movie, Eric. Like, thank you for one that I finally get to watch and hang out with you guys and hang out with my best friends and watch such a gory film. But this was super entertaining.
What I like, and some people say this is a fault with the series, but I think it's a feature, is that the people are assholes. And you want to see them die. Everybody is a jerk. The jock guy is an asshole. The goth guy is a jerk. His girlfriend is, she's not as bad.
And it's
Frankie
so
Cheeks
good.
is
No, it's so good because it's why they're doing it, but working up to their death, they show you the worst aspect of their personality, and they don't just like, okay, this guy, he might be a little bit loud and he might be a little bit boisterous. No, they fucking hit that with like a bright yellow highlighter and in all caps and just give it to you over and over again. So you're like, God, when's it going to happen? Oh, there it was. Yes.
What's going to happen to this asshole?
How satisfying. Okay. I want to go. I don't want to follow this like step by step, but I want to talk to you guys about this. Okay. Where we talked a little bit about the favorites before we started, but I want to know, let's start with Dave. Dave, your favorite way of somebody getting offed in this movie?
Well, it had to have been the drive-through scene.
That whole engine block and the fan in the back of the head.
Yeah, that one made or the nail one, but I think the engine block in the back of the head was ridiculous.
Oh God, the nail one was brutal. All the twitching and shit. That was hard. That was so brutal.
You get two kinds of kills in Final Destination. It's the surprise kill, then you get the long drawn out kill with all the kind of the complex things that are happening with stuff getting tipped over and and things sliding around and stuff like that. Where the nail gun one, they kind of do a misdirection. Because you think it's going to be the goth guy gets killed, but then all of a sudden his girlfriend backs in and she has the nail gun through the back of her head, and it like nails her head. Nails go through her head, and it nails her hand too. And then it looks
way
really
too much time setting up that nail gun. You're like, how is this going to come into it? This is way too much time. Okay, favorite one, Eric. Let's go.
Well, I will agree with David. I enjoyed the engine block fan one just because it was so wonderfully graphic. Because the Wendy and the other guy are trying to get out of the car. They managed to get out of the truck, and the truck that's sliding down the steep hill hits it, and you're wondering what's going to happen. And it just looks so perfect the way it just digs into the back of his head. It's all gooey and gross, and then it goes for that little fake out thing where they're looking at him to see if he's okay, and then it spins around one more time, and it's just
sprays everything everywhere.
Yeah, sprays everything everywhere. That is probably the best one. I know that the tanning bed one probably gets the most callbacks, or most people remember it because it has, like you said, gratuitous nudity, and it's very drawn out and painful looking.
Very much. All right. So when I looked this movie up and I've got it on the TV and I'm getting ready to watch it, when you get the previews on the streaming services, how it kind of gives you like a miniature trailer.
Yeah.
All right. And so it shows, the dude lifting weights and the two scimitars dropping down like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, that's going to be interesting. I wonder how the hell's that's going to work. So when it got to that scene, I'm like, all right, scimitars. Let's go. What happens with the scimitars? He's pumping Iron Man. Yeah, fuck this. I ain't going to die. And then boom, down they come. Nothing happens. Like, what the shit? And then bam, just freaking two chocolate biscuit, Oreo in the middle. Smash.
Yeah.
Done.
Smash his head open. And if you watched the behind the scenes pictures of it, it was a lot more gory because they made a fake head and they smashed it. And it was a lot more practical effects. But I think to appease the ratings board, they kind of covered up with CGI blood. So it's not as effective as, it's still fun as hell, but it's not as gory as it could have been if they stuck with a fake head and the practical effects rather than the CGI blood.
It was
super
good.
Fun though.
I enjoyed the hell out of that.
The I do love that shot though when the girls are in the tanning bed and they're both you see it from above and then they're dying and all of a sudden it fades into the two caskets that are in the same shot. That was a lot of fun.
That did bring a giggle. That did bring a little bit of a giggle. That was clever. Well done, gentlemen.
And I think that's why this movie is my favorite, because it's a little more funny. You know, they're leaning into the absurdity of what's going on, and that I think that is the more fun part about it. And yeah, that just totally cracked me up on that one. And their names are Ashley and Ashlyn, so their names are kind of predict their outcome.
Ash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Ash Hole.
The drive-through, that is super fun, though. I do that is one of my definitely one of the best one in my opinion. The getting head smashed. I do love the nail gun. That's really good. This one just has a lot of good variety. The only thing that I would complain about is it kind of peters out at the end, because the sequence at the fireworks, the 4th of July celebration, is not as memorable, because you're trying to figure out who's the one who's going to get killed, and it just happens to be a friend of her sister who gets impaled with a flagpole. That is kind of funny, but is not as memorable. But when Ian, the goth guy, gets killed by the cherry picker, that one is also a surprise death as well. And it looks nice and gory, where they showed in the making of, where they had him had a green screen half outfit, so they had him with the regular outfit, and then they kind of put all the other gore and stuff around him. It looked pretty cool. The effects are good in this one.
I love the slow sink after the flagpole, just a slow sink.
Yeah.
You guys have seen Hot Fuzz?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So yeah, that's got my other, like, it's a sentence that we can only say here. That's got my second favorite impalement of all time on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would say my favorite impalement is...
You better say the one I'm thinking about.
The priest in the Omen.
The Omen, yes, sir.
When the weather vane gets struck by lightning, and it falls, and it just goes right through him just perfectly, and he's like, oh, that is the one that I remember the most. And I will say that the Omen's deaths kind of predate Final Destination quite a bit, because there's a lot of like unexplainable, intricate things that happen. And when the photographer gets his head
taken off
with that pane of glass, that was also chef's kiss.
Right now, if we had like electrodes attached to us, we'd notice that our brain waves were perfectly in sync right there.
Perfectly in sync.
It's who was talking about that? I'm like, oh, the pane of glass. That's the next bit.
Or even in the Omen 2, where the guy gets cut in half in the elevator accident.
God damn you. That's where I was. All right, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. You just go. This is
okay. This is Eric reading Neil's mind for the rest of the for the movie. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. This movie is super fun. I definitely recommend it. It's just it's 93 minutes. That is what you're looking for. Just 93 minutes of fun, of stupid people getting killed in creative ways. You just can't really top that. Too good. The epilogue in the subway was kind of cool. People getting sucked out of the cars and stuff like that. That was pretty interesting. Wow, we're only 38 minutes in. We almost
talked about the whole movie.
Let's talk about the whole movie. Yeah, David, what's your other more thoughts about the movie?
I didn't like. I instantly thought about like how much it made me not like part 2, because I thought part 2 tried to be too serious with all the backstory of, I can't remember the one gal with the ridiculous name being in the mental hospital.
Clear Rivers.
Yeah, Clear Rivers. I just didn't like that. I thought like this was actually this was fun.
Yeah. Well, 2 is good, and I'll say it right now, since we're the ranking of the series to me is 3, 6, which is Bloodlines, the newest one, 2, 1, and then 5 and 4. Those are my rankings of the series. 2, I think, is the one that plays on everybody's fears of having logs and shit fly off a truck.
To this day, still won't get behind one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got a bunch of pipes in the back of their truck. Not today, Satan. I'm in the left lane.
Well, and that one has the best practical effect, I think, was when that big log busts through the cop's windshield and just blood and gore come out the other side of it. That is amazing. And the kid getting crushed by the glass in part 2, where you think he's going to die in the dentist chair. And then he comes out and he's chasing pigeons outside, and that painted they're installing glass on that high rise, and it comes down and crushes him. It just that's perfect too.
You don't see kids die in movies.
Yes, that's we'll give props to number 2 for having the courage to kill a teenager for.
Oh yeah, God, there's very few movies that'll have the balls to do that. Like like that Schindler's List. Like they finally got that kid in the red coat. About time.
Yes, exactly. Jeez.
RoboCop 2, the kid finally get the bratty little fucker finally gets.
Yeah, the bratty little kid in RoboCop 2 dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
My girl, little,
I was joking about Schindler's List, guys. That was sorry. Just so people know. My girl,
yeah.
That wasn't it was the boy that had the bee sting.
Yeah, the bees. Yeah.
Not the bees.
So let's talk about all through all the movies that you have seen of Final Destination. Neil, what is your favorite kill?
Okay, see, here's the problem. I could not single out a movie from that series. If you said Final Destination, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen those movies. Oh, what happens in the second one? I don't fucking know. I'd have to actually turn it on. It's not something, these movies don't really stick in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense. It's not a movie I would think about and like, oh yeah, that was great. I want to watch that a million times over. I put it on. It was entertaining as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it. But like, I think the only thing that really sticks with me is that whole sequence with the log truck.
Yeah.
Because it was, I put Bloodline. I wanted Bloodlines to go to the top of my queue, so I'd remember to watch that this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it on for just like a few minutes, but it does the thing on the streaming service, like I was saying, where you get a little bit of like a trailer.
Yeah.
And they were doing like, it had the guy with the voice talking about this, and in the beginning it did this, and then it showed a log come off the truck, and I'm like, oh, here we go, and then it skipped to something else.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have to be that Rube Goldberg of death.
Yeah.
It would have to be. And then the dude with the weights smashing his head, like the filling in a cookie. Done.
David, how about you of all the kills in the series?
Well, I've only seen the first 3, so I'm trying to remember 1 and 2. I thought, oh, God, they got gruesome and more ridiculous as it went on, but I probably have to go with the log. That's the one that sticks out the most, traumatized me. Yeah, for sure.
I think that one touches the primal fear that everybody has when you're driving behind, a logging truck or somebody carrying a bunch of 2x4s from Home Depot that's not very secured very well, or a bunch of drywall or something. You're going to get decapitated or get speared through the. What was the movie where the person got hit with a surfboard? It went through. It was like not even a
Point Break.
Was it Point Break? Well, the surfboard went through the window.
The surfboard, wasn't that one of the Lethal Weapons?
Yeah, you may be right. Yeah. The surfboard went.
Like it was like lethal. Yeah, lethal. Maybe it was like Lethal Weapon 2 because it had the South African guys in it, and then they did the fight in like the mobile home.
Yeah, this diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity.
So for me, and I've watched them all several times, but I only watched Bloodlines once. Bloodlines has some very memorable kills. They're super funny. But the first one, I think when the piece of metal flies off the train hits it and it cuts the guy's head off in Final Destination 1. 2, of course, the logging truck, and then the guy getting smashed by the glass. But also the lady getting her head torn off because she gets stuck in the elevator. And then that one was pretty good.
Why anybody's going to F around like, okay, I could possibly get out of that, I would slide through that thing like a Major League Baseball player. I would be like, get out of my way. Okay, I looked it up, and I think I know why I thought it was Point Break was because Mel Gibson and Patrick Swayze, a little similar with the hair, but it was Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. 3, the engine block one. 4 only has one that I think is funny, is when the guy is in the swimming pool and he gets his gut sucked out because he gets caught on the suction, and then the pool filter gets all bloody and stuff like that, because it was shot in 3D, so there's awful like 3D perspective ones. In the start of the movie is when they're at the racetrack and there's a big accident, a bunch of people get killed by flying car parts and stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And there, some person gets killed by somebody's mowing a lawn out, and it gets a rock flies and hits something and it impales her. In 5, it has 2 of them when the girl is on the balance beam, and there's this little screw that's on the balance beam, so you think she's going to hit her feet on it, but then she winds up jumping off and messing up the jump, and she has these compound fractures. It's really gross. And there's one where the guy has the acupuncture, and the place catches on fire, and he falls face first, and all the needles go in on him. In 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit with that, because those needles are super flexible. They would have bent.
I know, but
come, you know what? Final Destination people, you can do better. Be better.
Yeah, dude.
That's why 6 that's why 6 is a good return to form, because 4 and 5 are like, man, you still want to watch them because they're funny, because people are dying in creative ways, but they don't have the heart that the first 3 do.
I just love, I think remembering now 1 and 2 and watching this is just that rubber stamp they put on to just really bring out, like, this person's an a-hole. This is why they're an a-hole. Let's get cracking on it. Mm-hmm. Now that we've reached peak a-holiness, you're out.
Oh, and the airbag pushing that girl's head back onto the piece of broken PVC pipe was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Boom.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, definitely check them out. The entire series is on HBO 1 through 6, so it's worth checking out if you have HBO Max. And I think they're also on Tubi as well, except for part 6, because that's exclusive to HBO. But speaking of Tubi, that's where Kickboxer is at right now. Just the perfect place for Kickboxer with Van Damme. It is on Tubi. Let's talk about the horror movies of 2006, because 2006 it was an interesting year, and I realized I watched way more movies from 2006 than I had imagined. There's Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Have you seen that one? That's actually not bad.
No,
it's kind of like a documentary about this serial killer, but he shows up and kills people. It's actually kind of fun. The Black Sheep is a good one with the zombie sheep in New Zealand. That's a good one.
I vaguely remember that.
There is The Covenant. Rennie Harlan directed that one. Haven't seen that one. There's Dorm of the Dead. Dorm. Easter Bunny Kill. That's got to be on Tubi somewhere, if you look at the poster.
I am highly interested in that now.
Evil Bong is also one that you can see on Tubi.
Seen him.
Fido, that is the one with the people have a zombie as a pet. It was all right.
Yeah, Billy Connolly's in that. Not quite a really good use of his talent.
Yeah. Final Destination 3, 5 Across the Eyes. Never heard of that one. Gangs of the Dead. The Ginger Dead Man. The Grudge 2, I've not seen that one. The Hills Have Eyes remake, which is pretty good. As that was in Prime Remake Central in the mid 2000s. I Always Know What You Did Last Summer. The Host, which we've done an episode on, with the Korean monster movie. Oh, Easter Bunny Kill is on Tubi.
It is on Tubi. It is on Tubi, and I got to tell you, from the little preview, it looks like it's going to be gold. A teen who loves Easter and gets a pet rabbit finds a string of gruesome crimes starting to occur after his mother starts dating a psychotic killer.
Nice. There is the Omen remake, which we did an episode on during Remake Month last year. Not terrible, not great. Penny Dreadful, that wasn't too bad. The remake, Requiem, Saw 3, meh. Silent Hill is an underrated video game adaptation. That's not too bad. Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, which sounds extremely disgusting.
Seen it?
You have? You've seen Slaughtered Vomit Dolls?
Kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, wow.
Dude, who's in it? Lucifer Valentina directed it. Slaughter Vomit Dolls. 2008 Canadian surrealist exploitation psychological horror film. Written and directed by Lucifer Valentine, who coined vomit gore as a new subgenre. Well, I mean, I think if we got Easter Bunny kill, it's time to do a little searching for this.
Yeah, Slither came out that year with James Gunn. That's actually pretty good. That's a good one. Snakes on a Plane. And then the Snakes on a Train also came out. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. It's not too bad. It's out. That came out the year. The Tooth Fairy. Underworld Evolution. The When the Stranger Calls remake, which we talked about earlier. I'm going to have to check that out because it's Simon West directed it. And then The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage came out. Speaking of, not the bees! I just love there's if you go to YouTube, there's like a Wicker Man highlights, and it's got him stealing a lady's bike, punching women randomly, getting in a bear suit and just punching the bejesus out of people and kicking them and stuff. Yeah. It's amazing. Witchcraft 13, The Witch's Hammer. That was terrible.
Oh, gentlemen. On YouTube, in 14 parts, Slaughtered Vomit Dolls.
Oh. I'll put that in my queue. That sounds so gross. Think of your algorithm, Neil.
Apparently, he's made quite a few films, this Lucifer Valentine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Lucifer Valentine?
The Lucifer Valentine?
So, I looked up a list of movies with bloodlines in the title because I know we've talked about.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Hit us with that.
Okay. Well, so it says number 1 is Final Destination Bloodlines, some TV show called Bloodline, which doesn't matter. But then we go into Wrong Turn 5 Bloodlines.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pet Cemetery Bloodlines, which came out in 2023. Hellraiser Bloodline. Tekken Bloodline. Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Tremors 5 Bloodlines. Day of the Dead Bloodline. Let's see. Friday the 13th Vengeance 2 Bloodlines came out 2022.
Must be a fan film.
Yeah, hour and 48 minutes, Eric, and has 5.2 stars. Elias Voorhees is back in his plans for his undead son, Jason Voorhees.
Oh, God, I hate fan films.
That involve bringing an end to the Jarvis family once and for all. Wrongful Death 2 Bloodlines. And it's kind of about it, really, as far as like anything we would.
I feel like Final Destination 6 or Final Destination Bloodlines is the first movie to break that curse, because it seemed like if you had Bloodlines in the title, it was like signify the end of your franchise, especially with Hellraiser.
Yep, that's what we've talked about.
We are going to do Hellraiser 3, by the way, eventually.
Yeah.
So 2006 box office, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest was the number 1 movie in the United States that year. Cars, X-Men The Last Stand, The Da Vinci Code. Superman Returns actually made more money than I thought. It made $200 million that year. Ice Age 2, Happy Feet, Over the Hedge. What is that one? Is that another animated movie?
Yeah, that was not too bad.
Casino Royale, Bond movie, Talladega Nights, Click, Mission Impossible 3, Borat, The Devil Wears Prada, The Departed, The Breakup, Night at the Museum, Scary Movie 4, Nacho Libre, which is still funny, World Trade Center, The Shaggy Dog, Little Miss Sunshine. Yeah, 2006. That's I can't believe that's 19 years ago. It doesn't seem that long ago. Clerks 2, Match Point, The Black Dahlia. Then you get to the bottom, and you get Black Christmas only made $10 million. Grandma's Boy. Grandma's Boy is kind of funny, at least.
Never seen it.
Basic Instinct 2. Yeah. Only $5 million. Not very good. All right, so we're approaching spooky season, and we're soliciting ideas for movies if you have any ideas for any horror movies that we have not covered. So if you want to hit us up at rvspodcast222@gmail.com. We are on Instagram. I haven't updated it in a while. I'll probably do that this week. And then we are on the Facebook. And if you want to contribute to the cause, go to buymeacoffee.com and look for the Retro Video Store. And August is here. Spooky season awaits. I'm excited to watch some old crappy horror movies.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to do any Italian horror movies because I think the fans have spoken. They're not very they don't really listen when we do those, so it makes me sad. Yeah.
Okay, so I've just gone a little bit into Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, and I'm just going to say that I have watched all I'm going to watch.
All right. Well,
yeah. Not gonna watch any more of this. 100%. I am through.
I'll finish it for you.
Thank you, because it's very bizarre.
All right. Get your box of Kleenex out, David.
You seem a little too obsessed with what David's doing.
Well, I'm
like
saying
that.
Maybe he's gonna puke. Maybe the Slaughtered Vomit Dolls make him puke.
Okay. Yeah.
A bucket.
There you go. Get a bucket. I know the last time I was sick, I was like, by chance I may have emesis. Someone handed me a tissue.
Yeah. David, do you think you'll be with us next week?
Yeah, unless I'm called to something local. I'm not available national right now, so yeah. We'll see what happens.
Very cool. Ready for some Van Damage.
Let's watch it. What's it called?
Wham.
What are we watching again?
Bam.
Kickboxer.
Van Dam.
Kickboxer. Okay.
From 1989. Remember the original one from 89. Don't watch the sequels. They were awful.
Okay, 89.
Not that this one is any good, but it's still entertaining.
They trained that way.
It's nothing like a bad Van Damme movie. We still need to do at least one Steven Seagal movie.
Why?
Either Marked for Death or Out for Justice. Those are two at least funny. Okay,
they are funny, but it's so bad because he can't. He uses the same little stunt guy who's like half his size. It was like his student. So it looks like he's really beating the shit out of guys. Can we intersperse it with like people telling great like Jean-Claude Van Damme stories? Like
we can tell the Jean-Claude Van Damme stories.
You see that? That's called a skippy because it goes skip.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. We appreciate it. Hope you have a good week.
Do not watch Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, and everybody have an excellent week.
Thank you for listening to the Retro Video Store Podcast.